Hello, everyone. My name is KJ, and I'm the host of Great Talking Entertainment official channel. And today is my non-spoiler review for the new series on Hulu slash Disney Plus, The Twisted Tales of Amanda Knox. This is my non-spoiler review, and I want to be the one to convince you to check out this series, especially if you're a fan of true crimes, drama series, or a series just about true events that has happened in the past, present, or future. Let me be the one to convince you to check out The Twisted Tales of Amanda Knox. And if I did, let me know in the comments below of what you think about The Twisted Tales of Amanda Knox. And before I start, could you please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment official channel, and definitely hit that thumbs up button because that would help my YouTube channel grow. And I thank you guys in advance. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, The Twisted Tales of Amanda Knox is a series that is from the viewpoint of Amanda Knox from her one of her books that she did in 2013, and this is about her being wrongly imprisoned for a crime to the following death of her college roommate that she was wrongly accused of. And this explains why she has been judged harshly by the authorities, by the public, whether it's from Italy, from America, all over the world. And again, this is based off her book, Waiting to Be Heard. And it's just her perspective, her viewpoint. This is produced by her and Monica Lewinsky. So again, this is just a show that just from her viewpoint and just see the struggles that she went through before, during, and after this event, and it just gives you an insight of what her life was before and after, of course. And again, it's a really good show. It explains things, and I'm only gonna review just based off the show. I don't want to anybody think that I'm actually reviewing the actual case. I'm just reviewing the actual series that's on Hulu slash Disney Plus. So I just want nobody to get confused. So with that being said, I enjoyed it. It had me on the edge of my seat. It was I think the cast did an amazing job. They brought those characters to life of who they were portraying. Now, obviously, in each episode, they do put out there that some of these characters were just more characterized, and there was fictional places instead of actually the actual location for this show's purpose. So not everything may or may not be true or true facts in this case. So, but based off of that, it's still a good show. It had its ups and downs, and there's things that they I wish they didn't do, and there's things I wish they did do, and you'll definitely see that. And this is a show that just leaves up to your imagination and how you want to feel about Amanda Knox. Like whether you want to believe she's innocent or guilty, they leave it up to you, and me, of course. So let's talk about the things I did not like about it. So I wish they had more scenes with Meredith Kircher, and and the only reason I'm saying that, just based on a show, a series, I wish they would show like more scenes of like their friendship, how they would hang out. They did and they didn't, if that makes sense. Because there were certain things that I wish they clarify better with an actual scene, like who was she dating? What was she studying about? What was some of her struggles? Did her and Amanda ever argue or have disagreements? They said they have. The characters the actors and actresses who played the friends of Meredith, from where she's from. And in each scene they had those characters say, well, Amanda Knox was doing this, Amanda Knox was acting like that. you know in this show they explain, like, maybe a lot of people didn't like her. They thought she was kind of weird or strange. And so they never really explained that, what would that look like in the perspective of Meredith. And I wish they just did, just for a show purpose and the audience, because there was so much that I just never, you just couldn't really visually imagine the way they were explaining things. And I'm sure not for everybody, but for some, I would say. And then, like, the second thing is that the ending was not really satisfying to me, because I wish they would just, if they're obviously, I don't think they'll do a season 2 of this show, which never say never, but they left the ending to your imagination of how you want to perceive this. Again, that's what this show's about in the case of it. And we see, like, you know, the triumphs of her and the things she was struggling with: anxiety, PTSDs, just stuff like that, which was very compelling, very passionate, and it gave you a clear understanding of what she was struggling with, you know? And but again, the ending just wasn't so satisfying. I wish, and maybe they could not, maybe for legal reasons they couldn't, but I wish they would just maybe put their perspective of what they think that might have happened to Meredith. And that's what I wish, but they left it like a cliffhanger where it's kind of like up to you of what you think happened and how you want to perceive Amanda Knox. So that's the only two things I did not like. But I don't want to say, like, again, I know that this is a real life situation, so I don't want to put so much negativity on the thing, but just as a show, I wish they didn't do the leave it up to your imagination for that ending of it. Now, let me talk about the things that I did like about it. Number one, I love that they had an educational episodes where they explain, like, there's people in this world who've been in a similar situation, not to the actual crime, but who have been wrongly accused before, and what they go through. And I liked how they show, like, there's groups and meetings and meetups to go to, and there's people out there there's like programs basically to help a person get through this or go through some grief, or just somebody to talk to for some counseling purpose, right? I like that. I really like that. I like that, they had these topics for that. And another thing I like seeing how the justice system is different in, like, Italy or European countries versus how like going to court here in America is. I love seeing the difference of that, and it was very interesting way of how they have court when you're on trial and you have to go to court. Over there is quite a lot different in that, and the way they run things is very interesting. And I thought that was pretty cool to see. And then number three, the cast of the whole season of this show did an amazing job of a performance. And I thought a lot of them really there is some really lot of dialogue that I thought a lot of the actors and actresses really put a really good performance on. and really making it feel like you're actually there. You can feel the passion, the emotions, whether it was the good ones, the sad, the mad, the happiness. And it has so much good potential, and this was such a good series, especially if you're into like these true crimes or crime shows and stuff. Like, this is up your guys' alley, and I think you guys would truly enjoy this. And from based off this, this was a perspective that I think could clarify a lot of things of how you may perceive her in real life, but also it's just a really good show in general. And I think you guys would enjoy this, and I think that you can get a lot of out of this. And again, they leave a lot of things up to you of how you want to perceive things in this show. But other than that, because for me personally, this was a really good show, especially around this season, this month. And you know this story is so intriguing and so interesting. And the way they put a lot of dates, like the dates and times and years of when this and this happened. And it's like definitely during the era where social medias and the internet was definitely starting to be the thing that influence or dictates how what's a judge and a jury is going to make a decision whether you're guilty or not guilty. This really is a prime example of showing how the media and the social medias really infect a court or a trial date and how things people will perceive you. So it's very interesting, and it's very, positive but very negative and a lot through this whole situation. So it's a very like eye opener, and that's how it really is realistically with that. So this show really showcases that a lot. And honestly, again, I think you will enjoy this. And again, how you ever want to feel about her is how you want to feel about her. Now, I explain in my spoiler reviews of why I think she is innocent just based on this show. And if you want to hear that reason why I think she's innocent in this, definitely check out my spoiler reviews through episode 1 through 8, because I definitely go on a deep dive in that. But I think that there is a bigger picture to this situation, and there's like just some unsolved alternative routes they could have gone with or investigated that I think this show definitely showed that they didn't do, and maybe they should have done. And again, this is definitely a passionate series, and it shows a lot. So I definitely would recommend checking this out. It's a really good watch, and if I had to give it a 1 out of 10, I'm going to definitely give it a 7.5. Very excellent series, very well told, and this is a show that will keep your interest. Like, you're not gonna this show definitely does not make you want to just scroll through your phone or you know change the channel or pause it. This is a show that you gotta have to stop yourself, like, okay, I need to stop because I got other things to do. And these are long episodes for sure, and but they give so much detail of what was going on. They showed, like, you know her struggling and rise above the haters, the hate, the negativity. They show like how she almost lost hope, but still had a little hope, still a little bit fire in her to keep fighting, to never give up. And it shows like how many in this show. It shows like when like people just send fan letters to her, and believe in her, and they showed people who didn't believe in her and said hateful and meanful, wrongful things that I can't even say on here about her, you know. And it shows you that side of it. And it shows so much of like just being locked up in a all female prison in a foreign country, in a European country type, and it just gives you a different viewpoint of how they're treated. And it's very sad, it's very horrifying, and there's a lot. But as far as like this thing, that it's just crazy. Like, she was just being a college student, and then she's end up in this situation. So again, as far as just how the show is, this was a really good show. This was a really show about triumph of and just get moving on and then trying to have a normal life after this. So it was a very interesting thing, and I would highly recommend to watch this. Like, it's just not just a show to watch on Halloween or whatever. It's just a show you can just watch anytime, any season, and I think it's still good. So definitely, I hope you guys check it out. I think it's one of the best things I watched so far of 2025. So, but that is my non-spoiler review. I hope you guys watch it and let me know in the comments below what you think about the twisted tales of Amanda Knox in the comments below. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment Official channel. Subscribe and hit that notification button so you always be updated with all my latest content. Thank you guys, and peace out.